Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thank you for checking out this video. I have a 10.1 Survival Hunter guide for you guys for the Mage Tower. So the Mage Tower is what I've been fixated on over the last probably week or so. Already got Guardian Druid under my belt, and now I'm focusing on Survival Hunter. And in the Mage Tower, if you play Survival Hunter, you do get the Xylem encounter, or the Closing the Eye. And arguably, I found this to be the easiest I've done so far, which wasn't always the case. In fact, back in Shadowlands, I struggled with this fight mightily. But I made really quick work of it here in 10.1 and in Dragonflight. In fact, I think I beat it on the third try, and then I beat it on try 4, 5, 6, and 7, so I could get footage for this video. So this is something that anybody can pick up and do. You can get that specialty Mog on your hunter, and let's go ahead and take a look at the build that I'm using in this video, and then we'll kind of walk through the entire fight, and so you can see what to expect. So here is the hunter talents that I'm using in this video. In fact, I will put the string to this if you want to just plug and play down in the description of the video. I will be updating, or making, I should say, a 10.1 Marksman Hunter and Beast Mastery Mage Tower guide as well, if you guys would like to do it on all three. But looking at the left side of the tree, the main ability that you want on your Survival Hunter for this, believe it or not, is going to be Wilderness Medicine, because Xylem is going to be tanked by your pet for most of the first half of the encounter, so this just trivializes his damage. He doesn't do a ton of damage, but he will eventually kill your pet. But if you're just constantly using your mend pet, like do it every 10 seconds, you never have to worry about it. And then over here on the Survival Hunter side of the tree, believe it or not, the main thing that you want is going to be terms of engagement. So Harpoon is going to be your gap closer in your Survival Hunter build, and this basically works as a reverse death grip, meaning once you kill the target that you had harpooned, then it automatically resets the cooldown. And that allows you, whenever Xylem splits up between Frost and his arcane copies, to go from bubble to bubble, from copy to copy, till you find the right one. Makes it super easy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the run itself. And then I do have a lust pet, so you do want to have a lust pet here. I have a gorilla. I highly recommend a gorilla because it gives you lust, and it actually has some more defensives built into its kit naturally, since it is, you know, a gorilla. And then also I do have growl on for this first section. I will tell you when to turn it off though, because you don't want the second half of this fight to be tanked by your pet. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just do as much damage to Xylem as possible. I'm sure I'm doing the rotation wrong. I apologize if you're a Survival Hunter main. I'm sure you're throwing up in your mouth a little bit, but it really just goes to show you that you don't have to be some like Omega Survival Hunter player to do well. So we're going to go ahead and pause it here. So this was Razor Ice that comes out. It comes out approximately every 25 seconds. If you walk through Razor Ice, you will take a large amount of damage. So it stuns you. As soon as the stun stops, then jump up, and once you get to the apex or the top of your jump, then disengage back, and then you'll never have to worry about taking damage. So I'll go ahead and do that here, and then see, I didn't really have to worry about taking damage. I get the opportunity to put dots on Xylem, and then I use my harpoon to get back into the fight. And then something I did want to mention, these beams here in the middle do damage to you, and they do a large amount of it. In fact, they do approximately 50% of your health. So because of that, whenever you are fighting Xylem and Razor Ice is about to come out, as you can see here, it's in 10 seconds, make sure your back isn't to one of the beams, so you don't jump into the beam. I think I did it in a couple of times, and it didn't always do damage to me, so it's kind of finicky. Like, I will harpoon through it at some points and take no damage, but other times I will, so it's kind of weird. But just don't put yourself in that position. So here comes Razor Ice. It's going to come down here. It's going to do a little bit of damage to me. And then I'm going to get stunned, I'm going to jump up, and then I'm going to disengage back. That may take you a couple of tries to get right, but it'll be second nature, you know, third or fourth pull at most. And then we're just going to continue to pump damage into Xylem. As he gets closer to 50%, he's going to start going into his next, or his first split ability, I should say. So here comes Razor Ice. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of min pets and stuff on my pet, and then I'm going to go ahead and get stunned, jump, and disengage back. And then we're getting closer to 50%, like I said, so I'm just going to try to push him a little bit more, and then we're going to transition into the first little mini phase that Xylem has. So he's going to get ready to do that here in just 1 second. So he's below 50% now. Here comes the Arcane phase. And so Arcane phase is going to split the whole room into these Xylem fragments. So as you can see, there's a circle here. So let's go ahead and we'll kill this first Archmage Xylem. And then it's going to put this bubble. So when the bubble is down, you're not taking the AoE damage that all these Xylems are putting out. So what you want to do is stand in this bubble, and then he's going to have Prismatic Shock that each one of them is going to be casting on you. You're immune to it while you're in this, but the shell, the bubble, gets smaller. So what I do is I'm going to wait. I'm going to send my pet out there to the next Xylem, and then I'm going to wait till Shock is almost done casting, and then I'm going to harpoon to it to maximize, being able to do a Wild Bombs or a Mongoose Bite, or maybe even a kill command just to make sure we kill it. And then also, I'm sure you're wanting to know, where is the actual Xylem? Well, if you look at the map up here in the corner, it shows you where he is. So you just need to get close enough to him to flare him. So now here, I'm going to wait till this Xylem's almost done casting, like I said here. And then I'm going to harpoon to him. I should have sent my pet in already, but I didn't. That's my bad. But then we're going to go ahead and take out that Xylem here. And we're already close enough. You see his real health bar here to where the real Xylem is. And you can also see it on the minimap. So then I'm going to go ahead and just bring out my flare. I'm going to flare him, and then the fight continues on. And that's one of the areas of the fight that can be kind of difficult for you as a player. That and the Shadow Barrage, which is going to happen right on top of Xylem. So we have the luxury of having a lot of abilities that that do damage at range as a survival hunter. So if you feel uncomfortable with this bit, you don't think you can dodge the Shadow Barrage, just back away. Like, you can literally back away and just use Explosive Shot, bombs, maybe even use Kill Command and just wait it out. But I'm going to go ahead and dodge all of these abilities here as he is casting the Shadow Barrage. And then again, just doing as much damage as possible. So dodge all those, and then he's going to he's going to draw power. That's something I forgot to mention. Don't use your interrupt on him in this phase until draw power happens. Draw power is the most important thing. Don't worry about Arcane Barrage. Don't worry about anything. Those are all bait abilities. Always use it on his channeling there, because otherwise he will kill you very quickly. So we're going to go ahead and do more damage here, and then he's going to move to the other side of the platform. So there's where I'm going to use my cheetah, and then I'm going to use abilities once my pet gets in range, and then I'm going to harpoon in. And then we're going to continue to do this. And you can see here, draw power is going to pop up. So go ahead and interrupt the draw power, and then you don't have to worry about him doing obscene damage to you. So he's getting ready to go into his frost phase. So that's another split phase. So here, we've already got more splits happening, and we can already see, if you could look up in the corner, where Xylem is on the other side. So this is actually a harder one than the first one we had, because he's farther away. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the closest Xylem area. Actually, my pet was attacking the wrong one. And now my goal is to get over here on my survival hunter. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next Xylem. I'm going to wait for that shock to be almost done as I'm standing out, so don't do that. I'm going to take out Xylem here, and then I'm going to stand in the circle once again. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to the farthest Xylem I can reach, wait for him to get done with shock, go ahead and pop him here, and then we're already in range for the real Xylem. So I'll go ahead and use my flare there and bring him out. And once we get him to 10% health, that is when phase 2 begins, and he kind of snaps out of being evil. So we're going to go ahead and dodge the Shadow Barrage here once again. And he's at 11% and 10%. So we have officially completed stage 2. And now we have a lull. So if you are somebody who wants to heal up, you can eat right now. I'm not in combat. That's why I kept camo on my bars. I didn't need camo at all, but that's a good way to just camo during this middle bit, so you can heal up. So now here comes the Shadow Within, which is the main other half of the encounter. I've already turned off my Growl, so this is the point where you want to turn off Growl. and you want to move to the very edge of the platform because the shadow is going to drop poop on the ground. The poop does a large amount of damage. But this fight is all about just kiting, which actually isn't too bad. It's a very slow moving poop. And then once ads come out, you bring those away and you AoE them down. So we're going to go ahead and let this go out here. This is where I'm going to lust. I'm going to use it. So if you had a trinket or anything like that, I would use it here on the corrupting shadow now. And now I'm just going to do as much damage as possible. And you can see that there's the shadow poo that's currently growing on the ground. You just want to make sure and don't stand in that because it does a large amount of ticking damage really quick. And you'll notice too, I didn't use my, whoops, there we go. I didn't use my explosive shot because we're going to get Seeds of Darkness. But Siege of Darkness makes you run away. So I'm going to run away. I have 4 seconds left. And then I'm going to throw down my tar trap. And then I'm going to throw down my binding shot. And if you use your explosive shot on this, it makes them, it's super trivial, honestly. So I'm going to use my explosive shot here. They're all going to be grouped up together. And then you can just mongoose bite down if you have your pet here, which I had my pet come back out because this poo is growing. And I don't want to harpoon back in there because then I'll be right into the damage and then I'll die. So then I let the boss come back to me. My pet was closer to me, so that was a good thing. That's why you don't want your pet to be tanking the boss. And then you just sit here and just continue to do damage to him. He's already at 59% and we're about maybe a third of the way through the platform, so our damage is looking really good. The tier is definitely probably helping me, as well as the trinket, but you definitely don't need that to do well. So we're going to continue to do this, and I can use my explosive shot the second go around because it will be off cooldown by the time the seeds pop and they spawn the ads. So continuing to do damage, he's at 35% now, so again, making quick work. I'm going to go ahead and move here. I didn't even need to disengage or anything like that. You could, though, to get out there faster. The farther you are, the better it is to give you time to get there. So here, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of damage as I go. Let Ucklock finish off that darkness within, and then finish off the other darkness here. So I was just kind of making sure my cooldowns were up and ready to go for when the boss does come back to me. And we're at 32%, and this fight is almost over. So I'm just going to continue to do damage, and I'm just going to slowly stutter step. That's literally all you need to do. Don't take big movements, because otherwise he'll drop the poop, and then that ruins the it's kind of got like a soft enrage on this, so you just don't want to waste a lot of your space. But our damage is looking really good, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this helped you. This was such a fun experience for me. I'm excited to do more hunter guides for the Mage Tower. I'll probably try to keep this updated each and every tier. Who knows if it changes, that is. But consider subscribing if you haven't already. And be sure and follow me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. GG, guys, on your survival hunter kill in the Mage Tower. And I'll see you next time.